Hey everybody, welcome to Breakfast All Day. Alonso here with Matt and Christy. Like a circle in a circle, like a wheel within a wheel. Spiral from the book of Saw opened. I did not see it, but Matt and Christy went out and braved the elements and did, so they'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, I hadn't realized we needed an origin story for notebooks, but you know,
I wish it were that. Oh, if
right.
only it were that.
The Moleskine story.
So this is a story of a cop, Zeke, played by Chris Rock, who nobody wants to work with because he turned in a former partner for doing something awful, which we learn about later. And all the rest of the cops are like, we don't want to be his partner. So he works alone. Movie starts off with this heist that he then busts everybody for because he's undercover and his boss yells at him about that. I almost expected we were going to get the turn in your badge and gun scene, but we don't get that. It turns out his father, played by Sam Jackson, was this legendary chief of police that everyone loves. Zeke gets stuck with a new partner and they go to investigate what they think is a homeless person who got hit by a subway. Turns out it's McMurray from Letterkenny.
Oh,
who got yeah, that's why I texted you.
Good news.
McMurray got hit by a train. He's a cop, and somebody has been trying to recreate the Jigsaw type killings, first with this cop, and then somebody is applying the Jigsaw mechanisms to various police who are corrupt and or dirty and or just awful. And Zeke now has to try and get to the bottom of this before more cops get killed, and there's doubts as to whether it's a copycat. And this is super gross. When we get, somebody gets, well, I'm not going to say anything, but yeah, it's gross and gory. And, but, it's got a good mystery to it. And like a lot of mysteries, it gives you some distractions and some red herrings. I did not see the end, the final like reveal coming, and the end shot I loved. The end, I was like, what the fuck? I like this movie a lot. I thought this worked really well. I will admit, I've never seen any movie from the Saw series. This is my introduction. But you know what? I'd watch another one of these. And they certainly set it up that it could do that. I kind of dug this.
There's a bunch of Saws, so you could see Saw for a while.
A little too old to see Saw.
Clearly, they are hoping
teeter and totter, though.
For some, they're clearly hoping for some kind of franchise here, because it does end on a cliffhanger of sorts. I also have never seen a Saw. I saw some of the first Saw. I was still living in New York. This is 2004. There was all this buzz about Saw and how groundbreaking it was about what
all this buzz about Saw.
Oh, I didn't even mean that. That was inadvertent. I'm sorry, Justin Chang. I'm sorry to steal from you. No, I did not mean that, but there was like excitement about Saw and how it was groundbreaking as, an example of, I hate the phrase torture porn, but people were really excited about Saw. So
who knew there would be a whole chain of Saw movies?
This is the rare movie I actually walked out on. When people ask you about what you do for work and they ask like, have you ever walked out in a movie? And usually you say, no, you got to stick it out and see it through, right? That's the job. I wasn't reviewing Saw. I just went to see it for curiosity. And there's a scene in the first Saw where like this mother and daughter are being tortured and they're like trembling and sobbing, and the camera is very close on their faces as they're, terrified. And I thought, this just seems gratuitous to me, and I'm not in the mood for this today. Like, it was the middle of the day. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go. And I wasn't even a mom then. Like, I didn't even want to be a mom then, but something about it in that moment really bugged me. So I left, and I've never seen a Saw since. So I've seen vaguely more of one than you have. I know what the premise is. And I don't know that you need to know a whole lot about Saw to watch this, because they sufficiently explain, oh, there was this killer and he used to set up these elaborate games and puzzles for people to solve. But the thing with the puzzles here is that no, there's no real tension as to whether you're going to get out of it, because it's like the lesser of two evils and you're going to die either way. The people that he targets like are so physically confined by these elaborate contraptions that no matter what choice they make, they're going to die.
Well,
and
I think that's
where's the tension in that?
But I think partly it's because they take too long to decide.
Because they're panicking. Because they're hanging by their tongue in a subway tunnel or something. This looks like shit. It's grainy. It's way too. So I gotta say, the director of this, Darren Lynn Bousman, directed Saws 2, 3, and 4. Right. So James Wan and Lee Winnell did the first one. Right. They established the whole series. This guy did the middle 3, and it just, the way it is edited and the camera work is so frenetic and it's like grainy and grimy and it just looks like shit. And like, it's so visually off-putting that's part of why I had a hard time getting into the thrills or the mystery or whatever. Chris Rock apparently like just talked his way into this. Like he thought it'd be cool to make a Saw movie. And so here he is and it's happening. And in the beginning of it, there's a whole riff that he does as they're waiting for the heist to go down. And it's like plucked straight from his stand-up where he's talking about Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump and how I'm not gonna begin to try to recreate it, but it's hilarious and like insightful. And it's about, you know, being Black and being white in America. And it's all that good Chris Rock stuff. I'm like, oh, this might be okay. And that all semblance of that kind of humor gets completely tossed out the window once the actual mystery of the killer begins.
I don't really agree with that. I think there's a couple other places it shows up. I think Chris Rock plays an embittered cop really well. Mm-hmm. He's just like, and not quiet about it. Like he's disgusted with the way the Force works, the way his life has gone, and he's not going to shut up about it. And I thought that really helped this character and helped isolate him from what's going on and you know, why it, especially as we find out why the cops are getting targeted. The way that the whole movie looks like grimy and the city looks dirty, again, I think fit to this. To a certain extent, this movie really wants to be Seven, and it's not nearly as close to that, but for what it sets out to do, I think it's really effective. And I think the casting is pretty solid.
Is it? Can we talk really fast about math? How is Samuel L. Jackson Chris Rock's dad? If Samuel L. Jackson had him at age 17. And also
Sam Jackson, I think, is older than you think he is.
He was born in 48 and Chris Rock was born in 65. I looked it up.
Well, sure, you can. Sure.
I guess, but then go on to have this career as like, you know, I don't know.
Jackson's playing older, Rock is playing younger.
I guess. Anyway, I kept doing math in my head. Like, I don't think this works, you guys.
It totally worked. I did think it was pretty, like, we get flashback scenes and you get the horrible goatee that Chris Rock has and the epic 80s mustache that Sam Jackson has. The 80s cop mustache is terrific. No, I dug this. It gets a little overboard with references to other things.
Like what?
You know, there's like to other movies, right? Like there's a Vincent and Jules reference. So it references Pulp Fiction. And you don't just get one shot of that. You get like 4 shots of it. So you can't miss it. Mm-hmm. You know, Chris Rock brings up, right. He pointed, like when he says the line New Jack City, you're like, come on. Like there's a few places that happens and it's a little overdone. But I think this movie sets out to hit exactly where it wants to hit. It could have, there's some tightening I think they could have done. But like I said before, I would watch another one of these. Like it does end on a note that I was really shocked that we cut to the credits where we did. And I will totally watch another one of this because I kind of want to see what else goes on.
Well, it seems like they're aiming for that. Yeah. There's another scene I did like with Chris Rock and Max Minghella as his rookie partner that he's forced to deal with, where he's just going on a rant again about like, you think you know your wife. It's a whole, again, if they let more of Chris Rock being Chris Rock be a part of this, that'd be fantastic. But too much of it is him like running around and being stressed because he's trying to be a serious actor. I really am a huge fan of Chris Rock's comedy. I don't know that he's at this point still has developed dramatic chops yet. It always feels a little awkward. And he seems like a little wide-eyed and like awkward and tense.
Yeah, see, the scene you're talking about where he's driving and complaining, like I didn't feel like that was a bit. I was listening to that and I thought, yeah, this is not a bit that you can do on stage. Like there's not the laughs in there.
No, where they're walking through the subway and he's talking about Pilates.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about. That made me laugh.
Oh, yeah, okay. That I'll buy. No, I was talking about the scene where they're driving around and talking about wives.
Yes. Anyway, I paid $5 whole to go see this at the Starlight Terrace Cinema in Rancho PV last night. There were like a half dozen people there. They were very happy to see me. They thanked me 3 times. Thank you so much for being here. So nice to see you guys. Anyway, I'm saying 2.
Ah, come on. Well, I will even that score out because I'm saying 8.
You are.
Because I think this is a better movie than Woman in the Window. I think that the mystery and the reveal is tighter and better executed than Woman in the Window.
It is tighter and better executed than Woman in the Window, but from an aesthetic perspective and a performance perspective, I'd rather watch Woman in the Window than Spiral. That's just me. So our numbers are 5.
I would too, but okay.
So thanks for watching, everybody. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you want to read a review of this movie by somebody who actually has seen all of the Saw movies, Bibbs reviewed it for me at TheWrap, so you could check that out. And please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. We're talking about Handmaid's Tale. Soon we'll be talking about the Underground Railroad. We have our May off the menu where we'll be talking about a classic film that we've never reviewed on either of the shows before. So much awesome exclusive material for our subscribers. We hope you'll check it out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.